Hello and welcome. You're listening to Functional Wellness with Dr. Allison, and today we are covering a nutrient that is so important for your health but is commonly overlooked or taken the wrong way. So, if you are feeling tired, run down, chronically sick, and inflamed, NAD is the nutrient that might be for you. So, as a personal experiment, I've been working on breaking down my own biofilm in my gut because of my chronic viral load with Epstein-Barr and autoimmune issues and colitis. So, over the weekend, about a week and a half ago now, I guess, I ended up with my second infection with COVID. And I'm assuming that a biofilm essentially opened up that was hoarding this virus, and my immune system was alerted. No one else in my house was sick. No one else that we were around was sick. So I know it was really something that had been living in my body and just keeping me sick and tired. So it's good news that we're clearing things out, but it also left me pretty sick. The first time I had this infection, I was down for almost a month and left with long haulers. However, this weekend I used high doses of NAD and other nutrition, which I'll cover in a minute. And about day 5, I was feeling back to myself. No aches, no pains, no brain fog. And I even got back to working out, which I haven't been able to do for months because of the Epstein-Barr. So I can say that I'm a true believer now in NAD, and I'm excited to see how this can help me continue to improve my health. So, as we jump into all this information, I would love for you to join my Metabolism Makeover Challenge. We're starting on October 17th, and the link to join us is in the description. This will be a 90-day program. So, you grab your Meta Power Kit that I'll be talking about, and then join us in the group for free. And you're going to get so much. I'm going to talk a little bit more about it at the end. So, hang in there with us. So, of course, what I do want to say, because we're talking about nutrients and health, is that the FDA states that only drugs and surgery are preventative and considered treatment. So, NAD is not a treatment or a cure for any issue, but we could talk about the research and the nutritional support around it for cellular health. So, NAD stands for nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, and it's found in every single one of our cells. It's incredibly important for all of our biological processes, supporting our health, energy, and longevity. As we get older, this is one of the nutrients and antioxidants that naturally declines, and it's associated with age-related issues like metabolic disease, loss of muscle and strength, brain and cognitive decline, and even cancer. So, like I said, it's found in every cell, and it's mainly in the mitochondria where we produce our energy. Also, the nucleus where we store our genetic information. When there are issues with NAD, we don't make as much energy. Our cells and our genes are not given the cofactors they need to make proteins, complete processes, which leads to our bodies breaking down over time. Because NAD is a pivotal regulator of gene expression, this is the part that I'm really excited about, because you've probably heard people like me say, oh, you can change your genes. You can change how your genes express illness or health, how your lifestyle affects how your genes work, and we can actually directly affect this with NAD. Another common term you might be familiar with is epigenetics, and epigenetics describes how our environment can affect how our genes express health. And now this is different from genetic changes, which are permanent, like eye color, where epigenetics means that your genes can be turned on or off, or making a gene active or inactive by different enzymes and proteins. So lifestyle factors like smoking, stress, exercise, diet, all can affect epigenetic changes as well as trauma, which makes NAD an incredibly important factor in supporting gene health, how your body recovers and changes. NAD can actually modify gene expression. It can actually repair DNA, and this is such an important factor in our own health and healing. So when you hear people say, like, change your genes and make sure that you're turning the right genes on and off, like, that's a great sentiment to say, and we can do different types of genetic testing and make sure that we're feeding our body the right things, but it's really hard to actually know if you're changing those things. And this is why NAD, and I would probably say glutathione as well, is so incredibly important and such a simple thing that you can add in as well. Now, our bodies actually can create its own NAD, and mainly in the liver from dietary sources. And all of our cells have specific enzymes that use this as well. It's actually over 300 enzymes that rely on NAD. And these enzymes are known to impact aging. They regulate our metabolism, our stress responses, and even our neuron growth. These enzymes are also found in our immune cells and can help support and prevent neurodegenerative diseases and traumatic brain injuries, is what the research is showing. So if you're depleted and your cells aren't getting enough, you're not able to use NAD properly. And now you see how this can lead to a breakdown in immune systems, our energy, our metabolism, weight loss, brain health, brain fog, and degenerative issues. So how do we fix this? Now, number one, lifestyle is so important, and it is one of the best things to help our cells improve their physiological health. And exercise can be different for everybody, and mainly the main key I want you to get is that movement for about 20 minutes a day is the most important thing. So whether you're walking, running, biking, doing a dance class, doing yoga with the kids, lifting weights, something, get your body moving for at least 20 minutes a day. Of course, eating a balanced diet is really incredibly important, making sure that you're eating a lot of meat and veggies, minimizing your carbs as much as possible, and really working on fine-tuning your daily circadian rhythm with adequate sleep. A big thing that helps these systems is waking up and going to sleep at the same time every single day. Another huge factor, of course, is managing stress. And what does that look like other than trying not to be stressed out? That includes minimizing alcohol, not smoking, meditating, talking to a therapist, journaling, moving your body, doing all the things that you know you need to do to take care of yourself. And I would say a big one is reducing caffeine intake, because caffeine has a lot of pros, absolutely, but it can also harm your cortisol, your adrenals, and your circadian rhythm. So if you can, cut down or cut out coffee, energy drinks, and soda as much as possible. That will speed up your healing so much. Now, the next step, of course, is taking NAD and its precursors in supplement form. And this is where the Meta Power Advantage comes in. And this is a product that is what I've been using, and it's in a powdered form, which means it's so much easier to digest and absorb, and you can add it to any liquid. It tastes great, very lemony, and very easy to use. Now, I would not recommend putting it in hot liquids like coffee or tea or anything like that, because the heat will break down the proteins and it can denature them, so you won't get as much out of it as well. I've tried NAD in capsule form, I've tried it in nutritional patches, and I never had any changes in my energy or how I was feeling. So I do believe that because most of us have digestive issues, taking capsules and pills all the time is not actually a great way to get nutrition into our body, which is why I do like nutritional patches. However, things like NAD can be so tricky to make sure that it's stable. So taking it in this powdered form means that you're going to get a much higher absorbable dose than you would in any other system. So research shows that taking NAD can improve so many things that we've been talking about, like brain function, and it can improve vascular health, which would impact blood pressure, your heart rate, your exercise recovery. It's shown to improve liver function and has an increased capacity to regenerate. How awesome is that? It also works on muscle strength, muscle mass, and recovery. And because it works on the metabolism, it's going to improve your cells' insulin sensitivity, reduce inflammation, reduce body fat, and of course, improve immune function as well. And because it works on over 300 processes plus in our body, we require NAD to function to help our body to thrive. So, this is such a major key nutrient in our health, something you definitely want to add to your daily protocol. So you can get your daily dose of NAD as well as other nutritional support like vitamin C and collagen, hyaluronic acid, and biotin through doTERRA's new product called the Meta Power Advantage. And it's Meta, META, and then PWR. And the PWR stands for Personal Wellness Realized, but we're also just calling it power because it's pretty powerful. And then, like I said, you just add one packet to a glass of water and drink that. Now, you can take more. So, people like me with chronic health issues, I'm taking 2 per day, and you can still see a huge difference with just 1 per day. Most people are still saying they're having crazy changes by day 8 in their health and their energy and their sleep and their focus. But if you are chronically ill or even older, you might want to take up more to make up for that deficit that your body has created over your entire life. So grab your kit with the link below. Make sure to sign up for the challenge. You'll get access to our group, the private chat, accountability partners, meal plans that are customizable. You get a consultation with me, and we start on October 17th. So join us now. So that way you can end the year right, feel amazing, and start 2023 off on the right foot. All right, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date with all of our podcasts, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for listening to Functional Wellness with Dr. Allison. If you would like personalized care and testing, you can schedule an initial consult online and get started with your wellness plan right away, or message us on Facebook at Little Black Bag Medicine. Thanks for tuning in, and see you next week.